We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go, we're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go. Hi everybody, I'm Sophie, he's Mike, and she's Brenda, and welcome to On the Road with Mickey. If you're returning for another adventure with us, welcome back. We are so glad you have returned safely. And if this is your first episode with us and you're new here, welcome. It's so nice to meet you, and I'm going to show you the reins today. First up, we have our Cheddar from the Big Cheese, which is basically our Disney news snippets. And then after that, we have our feature topic, which is what we talk about for most of the episode. And then after that, we have our This Day in Disney History, brought to you by me. And after that is our game of Who's Who, and that is brought to you by Mike, my dad. Oh, fair warning, I'm almost never wrong when it comes to this game. I almost always win it. And then after that, Brenda will be giving us a quote from the big man himself, Walt Disney, and it's just going to be amazing. So buckle up, keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the car at all times. Make sure you're safe, fasten your seatbelts, all that good stuff, and we will see you on the road. It's time to get going. Let's go!
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and she's Sophie,
And she's Brenda.
Hi, everyone.
and he's Grogu,
He says hi.
and we're on the road with Mickey. This is season 2, episode 49 for December 2021, and today we are celebrating the Disney community, and that is why Grogu is wearing his ears. Absolutely why.
And he looks amazing.
He does
He
look
Absolutely
amazing.
does.
fabulous.
He always does.
He does.
I think this is going to be one of our top 5 episodes ever. I'm putting it out there, so it's going to be true.
That's right.
And as always, though, we want to start by having some updates from last week. And, you know, I think it was last week. Sometimes I forget. It kind of runs together sometimes. But last week, Brenda said, which do you like better? The gingerbread house at the Grand Floridian or the gingerbread carousel at the beach club? Which is your favorite? The vote was surprisingly kind of 50-50.
Really?
And so I want to know what you all that are watching think. Which is your favorite? Let us know in the comments on YouTube or on the website or over in our Facebook group, or go over to Brenda's page. Any of those sorts of pages, and just let us know what you think. Which do you like better? Now, Brenda was not able to choose because she likes them both for different reasons. But Sophie,
Yeah?
I want to know what you think, and I want to know what Grogu thinks. Which does he like better?
Obviously the gingerbread house.
He likes the gingerbread because of the treats, right? No, he doesn't. He's
Oh my
saying no.
gosh.
So
You are a traitor, little man.
he likes the carousel because he gets to ride and have fun. Oh, okay. And Sophie likes the gingerbread house because she gets to get her treats.
So still
Exactly.
50-50. That's what
I
it
am-
keeps coming out like.
Yep.
So right now, it sounds like my vote is the deciding vote.
Uh-oh.
I'm a
So
food motivated being, okay? And I'm surprised
I am
you're
too.
not.
I am too. And, I think I understand Grogu. My vote is obviously with my girl, Sophie. And I choose the gingerbread house at the Grand Floridian.
That's just because we're too big to ride the carousel. Only Grogu can do it.
Yeah, well, there's that. But the other thing is that we get to buy treats and enjoy treats, and we've done that.
Yeah.
But I think Grogu is like, you know what? I'm going to say the carousel because you're right. He is big enough to ride it, whereas we're not. But he also knows that he can con some treats out of Sophie too, right,
That's
I was
Grogu?
about to say that.
Easily,
Yeah.
easily.
So
Yep.
so he's got the best of both worlds. He'll pick one, but he knows he's got both in his corner. So
Oh.
Oh God,
so
that's
anyway,
funny. That's true too.
let us know though. We want to know, okay, what you all think as well. So keep
Yep.
us posted. Leave us comments. All right. Well, moving on from that little fun little tidbit, we have some cheddar from the big cheese. And Brenda, I have got you listed for the first piece of cheddar. I think it was
Yes,
right up your alley.
it is. It's exciting. I'm glad it's coming back.
Yeah.
It's a storybook dining at Artist Point with the Evil Queen and Dopey and Grumpy. And it's going to reopen on December 16th. And it's the first restaurant with the return of Disney princesses. Snow White, along with Dopey, Grumpy, and Queen, will stroll through the enchanted forest while you dine.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
that is the first time they're going to be that close because it's, we've had to do the selfies with the characters behind us several feet for
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
a long time.
I
And
don't
it's the first restaurant that has princesses back.
Yeah.
Even if it's just Snow
Just
White,
one.
but she is a princess.
I don't think we've ever eaten there, have we?
We have not eaten there.
I'm curious about this now.
I
I'm going to be doing
tried
some research.
I
Yep.
tried to make some reservations at some point when it first opened. Could never
Yeah.
get them. Could never get them.
Oh,
I've been there with the girls and when I posted this on my page, I could not find the photo I really wanted to post. I posted one with the Evil Queen and Leah and McKinley, but there's one that I need to find. And if I find it, I'm going to send it to you, Mike. It is
Okay.
Aaliyah imitating Grumpy's face standing next to him. And it's the cutest thing ever. And I can't find it. So I'm going to try to
Oh,
find it because it was really cute.
oh yeah.
Really a cute
Yeah.
oh,
experience.
wow.
But the food was really good too. So
There
I'm
you
glad
go.
it's coming back. I hope that everyone will enjoy it.
I am
Oh,
too.
wow.
And I'm sure many people will enjoy it. So that's good news.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
if
Anything that
you
goes back to normal is good.
oh yeah, absolutely. Now, if you are one of those people that lives locally or goes, stays off property or whatever and likes to drive to the parks, then you may be excited to know that the parking trams are returning to the Magic Kingdom later this month.
That's good.
That
That's really good.
I can't believe how many people I saw post and how excited they were.
It's a long
Some of
walk from
my
where you
friends,
park into the transportation ticket center. It's a long
yeah,
walk.
Yeah.
yeah. And I had some of my friends say that it was actually it's their favorite ride of the day.
Especially at the end of the day, right?
Oh
Where they
yeah,
don't have to walk
especially
to the
then, right?
car. Yeah, that's great. I'm glad that's
And
happening. Yay.
and regarding the rest of the parks, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, the trams will be returning to the rest of the parks throughout 2022. So no dates yet for that, but they're going to start bringing them back. So that's
That's
big
great.
news.
Yep, that's very good. Very good. Just onward and upward.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right. And then that leaves me, I guess.
Yeah. Save the
This
best for last.
Yep. This past Friday, on December 3rd, Orlando was designated as Walt Disney World. What?
I didn't say
Uh,
that right.
no, you did. Oh, I see. Orlando designated this day as Walt Disney World Day.
Right.
Also, I have something that I want to share, and it wasn't this past Friday. It was actually on Thanksgiving Day, but I went down to Florida with my family to go see our other family, Jagan, Aunt Sheila, and Uncle Randy. And while we were there, I got the opportunity to go with Jagan to the movies, and we saw Encanto in the theaters. And if you can't,
Awesome.
it is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I implore you all to go watch it, but if you can't, then it will be streaming on Disney Plus starting December 24th.
Oh, very
Christmas
nice.
Eve. It is such an amazing movie. I love it, love it, love it. I think it might be my new favorite. I'm
Wow,
not
that's
sure.
Wow.
great.
That's big time news if it's Sophie's favorite.
That
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
All right.
All
All
And
right.
right.
very exciting about him naming Walt Disney World Day as December 3rd.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me too. And as we know, and I think most of you watching know as well, um, the YouTube, I post the YouTube on December 5th. Podcast audio goes up on December 6th. And December 5th is the anniversary of Walt Disney's birthday. And this December 5th, he is or would have been 120 years old today.
Yeah.
And that is one of the biggest reasons why we wanted to celebrate Walt and celebrate the Disney community that has grown up because of
Yes,
Walt
for sure.
Disney, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's why Brenda's button is happy birthday button for Walt Disney World. I think that's awesome. I think it's just awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile,
It's
all I got is a
wonderful.
look of Epcot's World Showcase, but you know what? I
And
like
all
it
I
too.
got is the castle, despite
Oh,
how
goodness.
beautiful it looks.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. So anyway, happy birthday, Walt.
Happy birthday, Walt.
Happy birthday, Walt.
And we've got another happy birthday later on in the show, right, Sophie? Shh, shh,
No
shh.
spoilers.
No spoilers. Spoiler free.
Oh, yeah, sure. You already kind of gave a spoiler, but okay.
He gave a
So,
tease.
I
yeah.
gave a tease, not a
Yeah.
spoiler.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. So I have a simple question that I would like each of us to answer. And you, listeners, I want you to think about it and give me your answers as well. So, how has the Disney community become like family to you? And since it's such a oddball type question, I thought I would start us off so that Brenda and Sophie can kind of get a feel for what I'm thinking here. Okay.
Sounds great.
All right. So, I started my blog. My Dreams of Disney is my first Disney blog, and I started it in September of 2010, 11 years ago. And I started it primarily as a way to um, to document the trips that Sophie, Cindy, and I have had, and the ones that I had before they were even in my life, And out of that blog, this whole community started growing. We
Yeah.
started people started finding it. It started taking on a life of its own. People started following it. They would comment on posts. They would be like, and it was just incredible the the way that the Disney community just kind of embraced it, you know? And out of that blog, I started writing for Chip and Co. And that's how I met Brenda
Hmm.
because Brenda wrote for Chip and Co. as well. And we got this friendship going that, we've been friends for 11 years, but it feels like we've been friends our whole life,
Yep.
and we've always had we've had a saying, and Brenda has always drilled it into me. I'm her I'm your brother from another mother,
Yeah,
and she's
Mhm.
my sister from another mister.
that's right. That is right.
Because we are family, you know? She's not just a co-host and she's not just joining Sophie and I. It's
Yep.
his family. She's like Aunt Brenda, you know?
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So that's exactly how we are. And we had family on Chip and Co. You know, we had Ken.
Oh my
Ken was
gosh.
our Ken was he was
Yep.
older than us, and he was as gung ho a Disney fan I think as you'll meet. And he's gone to be with the Lord now. But Ken was such a great inspiration for us
Yeah.
because we were all able to just talk Disney, enjoy life, you know, and enjoy what going to Disney World meant to us and all that. So that was just the start of how the Disney community became like family, you know. And
Yeah.
then as my blog kind of grew some, it dawned on me because I've always been, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm always been the guy who wants to see what kind of numbers I'm getting. You know, I'm the analytics guy, you know,
Yeah.
and I want to see, okay, where are people connecting from and how many downloads of the podcast, how many hits on the Facebook page, you know, all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
But one morning, and of course, one of the things that Brenda and I have in common is our faith. And and one morning, um, I woke up. The Lord put on my head to look at my blog, and I saw that my dreams of Disney had people reading it from all over the world.
That is
And Lord told
fantastic.
me, yeah, and it's not nearly as much as it used to be because life, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the Lord put it on me that if people are that gung ho about reading about your Disney stuff, maybe there's people that need prayer. And so one of the things I started was a Sunday morning segment called Prayers for the Week. And that
WEEK. Prayers for the
yes,
week. For this week.
Yeah.
yes, for this week.
Yeah.
Although, you know what?
It could be both, right?
I didn't even think about it WEAK,
Yeah.
but maybe
Mm.
that's what it should have been.
I don't know. We're weak and we're strong, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think
anyway,
I think it's good as it is. Prayers for the
yeah.
week. WEEK.
prayers for the week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that grew up into a Facebook page, and it's still a thriving community where people, when someone needs prayer, they find us, they post in there, and they've got a whole community of people, prayer warriors that are praying for them.
That's
And
right.
anyone that wants to join that, go out onto Facebook, search for prayers for the week. You'll see a picture of um, it's actually God's Acre over at Old Salem in Winston Salem, North Carolina. But you'll be able to join, and we'd love to have you. So look us up if you're in the need for prayer and need some prayer. Um, but anyway, out of those posts, my friend Amanda Pazik, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying her name, um, but I did anyway. Her husband Daniel was sick, and she needed prayers, and so she posted one episode. She just posted about about needing prayers because her husband was sick, and we just started praying for her. And we prayed and we prayed and we prayed and we had great times and we had great results and we had not so great results. And you know, and unfortunately, Daniel's with the Lord.
Yeah.
But out of
Fortunate
that,
for him.
fortunate for him, absolutely.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Amanda and
Everyone
Kate,
who loved him. Yeah.
yeah. But out of that came a family, you know? Amanda, we met them at the Poly. They were getting ready to leave to go back home, and we were there, and we got to meet them, and we met them, and we were hugging, and Sophie and Jagan and Kate were became friends,
Yeah.
and it's so funny because Cindy and Sheila are hugging Amanda, and I hug her, and I'm starting to bawl like a baby,
I can.
and all these women are just totally fine, and I'm just sitting there like a blubbering idiot.
Yep. I'd have been with
but
you, Mike.
but that's how it was, and that's just those are just three examples of how the Disney community becomes family. And I could go on and on and on. I haven't talked about the blog rail and my friends out of the blog rail, but I could. I haven't talked about my buddy Lee, who lives north of the border,
He's pretty cool.
and Lee is absolutely cool. And his blog, which is Disneylandia, go look it up, disneylandia.com. Um, haven't talked about, I haven't even talked about my Pixie relationships yet and how much family that is. But all of that started, all of that started because of Walt Disney. If Walt Disney wasn't at Griffith Park, wasn't looking for a way to have fun with his girls and not have to just sit on a park bench while they rode the rides,
Yep.
then Disneyland doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Walt Disney World doesn't happen. All these fan blogs don't happen. And on and on and on. I don't know Brenda, you know? Sophie doesn't grow up knowing how much fun it is to go to Disney, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, and
Well, I mean,
and
we would
even
still have the movies.
yeah, yeah,
Small in
but
comparison.
it is such a small piece
Yeah.
compared. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Um, so and I'm gonna see what Sophie adds to the table when we get to her. I left you last, Sophie, on purpose.
Yeah.
But but it's just the the web of how those connections are built just keeps growing and growing and growing, and it's just so neat.
Mhm.
Um, it's just so neat to see how all that is used, you know. So so I don't know. I think I might have talked enough, but I want to hear what Brenda has to say. Did I make sense? Am I making sense here?
Oh, of
Yeah.
course you are. Yes. Anyone
Okay.
listening will totally get it for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
Your turn.
I wrote some notes down that I'll get into in a little bit. But
Okay.
with me, okay, I went to Disneyland for the first time when I was 8, and I didn't remember much except for the teacups and the Matterhorn. But then I went to Walt Disney World when I was 15. I know you know the story. It was the first time I'd ever flown in a plane, and we pulled up in the taxi at the Contemporary. It was just ridiculous watching that monorail go through the right through. I mean, it was like, what? It was just the craziest thing I'd ever seen. And, there was only Magic Kingdom at that time, but
Yeah.
I just loved it. I just fell in love with it. And I wanted, as time went on, I wanted to take like, if I ever have children, I want to make sure they come here.
Mhm.
And so there was a lapse. Well, I went in 1979, then I went again in 1981, and then there was a lapse until I think 1990. Nope. Yeah, 1989. There was a lapse. I took my child for the first time, and it was like it just meant so much to me to share that with him. It was
Yeah.
like it was just so important to me to share that with him. And so subsequently, starting in 2000, we took the kids every year. And it was just the best part of life. I mean, it was just something to look forward to every year that was so different from every other day in the year, going to Disney. It's such a feeling of happiness, you know,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
just a happiness. It's different. It's just a different place. It's the Disney difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, I started writing for Chip and Co. I also had my own blog at the time. And then I thought, as we're calling to book our trips on the regular Disney line, I'm like, they need people who absolutely love Disney, like gush love Disney and want other people who travel there to feel that, to be booking these trips. It's not an admin thing, it's a magic thing. So
Right.
eventually, from working with Chip and Co. and then having Pixie Vacations as a sponsor, I ended up being an agent with Pixie. And of course, all the friendships. I mean, somebody calls you and they're a stranger, but that does not last for long. They become your
No.
friends.
Yeah.
The opportunity to meet them in person, like I just was able to meet, guests of mine for 10 years. I just was able to meet them for the first time at the park during my recent visit. And it's such a connection. Disney is such a connection among the community. It's just, I mean, to think about what Walt left is amazing. What a
Yeah.
difference he made for so many people. All these
Yeah.
podcasts, all these blogs. I mean, he just made such a difference. It's just
Mhm.
such a gift. Really, really special gift. So I did make a couple of notes that I'm going to read so I don't forget what I'm saying. But
Okay.
hoping I get through
Of
this. It's not
course.
it's not very long, but there's a couple things I wanted to highlight in honor of him. Um, Obviously, when you go to the Disney parks, there's like this special, unique happiness that like comes over you.
Yeah.
It's such a different destination than other destinations. Part of it is the cast members are great. Part of it is, how it was created, but part of it is the people that you meet that you don't know that are in the park with you. And it's
Mhm.
just a big thing. And like it brings people together from all over the world. And I wanted to share this one example of the trip I just had that it's a short example, but to me, it really conveys kind of the difference in the Disney community versus visiting other places. And it's this. We were waiting for Enchantment, our first view of Enchantment. I wanted to be down Main Street because I knew that the buildings were going to light up. And I
Uh-huh.
wanted to be like away from the castle. So we were going to sit on the curb and wait for the show to start. So
Uh-huh.
right when we sat down, about an hour before showtime, another couple sat by us, and we were talking, of course, because you talk to people. It's everybody's got that thing in common, that Disney thing. So we're sitting on the curb, and I decided to go get us hot chocolates for the fireworks. So I put my backpack in my spot, and I left and went to the Starbucks. So I was waiting in line. I forgot my phone. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, regardless, while I was gone in this 40-minute line at Starbucks, another family had come on the other side of Butch, and it was a young couple with a little 2-year-old boy. And he and Butch were like really interacting a lot, like playing, and Butch was hiding. And, it was really cute. I didn't get to see any of it. Well, while I was in line at Starbucks, I thought, I'm going to go ahead and get Cocos for the couple that we just met that's sitting by us as well as us. So I got 4 Cocos. I went back and I handed Butch his cocoa, and then I handed our new friends their cups of cocoa, and they were so appreciative. Well, then at the same time, they wanted to, Butch wanted me to know they had met another family. Well, the people I just gave the 2 cocos to said, we're going to share ours, and let's give them this one and they can share it. And
There
that's
you go.
that's what I mean. It's
Yeah.
like it's just it's like you love someone enough to do something nice, and they love someone enough to do something nice, and that's what I mean. There's a
Yeah.
difference. There's a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that short story just explains it all, I think. That's just the way
Yeah,
that
it
Disney
does.
loves each other. But it also
Yeah.
contributes to the PDSD, which is the post Disney stress disorder, because that is a real thing. And when I leave, leaving it is hard. It's like you wish that life was like that here and everywhere, but it's not. So we keep that bubble and we keep going back to that bubble because we wish the world was that way. But and I tried to find this quote by Walt. I could not find it word for word, so I'm going to paraphrase. But it said something like this: we want people to come to Disneyland, be happy, and then take that happiness back to their community and make a difference. And
Mhm.
that's what I think we all feel. All of us who love Disney.
Eh, And
Yeah.
not to get, too religious or anything like that, but that's Walt's Great Commission,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, people, if you don't know, Walt Disney had so much faith. There is an essay, and it's on a website, I word for word. Um, and that's where we get our history. It's called This Day in Disney History. And he wrote an essay called Prayer in My Life by Walt Disney. And I posted a quote from that on my own personal Facebook page. But it is worth Googling Prayer in My Life by Walt Disney, and you'll find it and you'll read it, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about, where he talks about how his upbringing, his congregational upbringing, and his religious background and upbringing in his family led to him being able to do some things that, may not have been able to do. So go find it and read it. And it is really a powerful statement. So I'll
Awesome.
Yeah.
post the
Yay.
link in the notes.
That's awesome.
But is and so yeah, that, just like you said, Brenda, take the enjoyment and the everything, the camaraderie and everything from your trip to Disney, bring it back home. Let it wash over people that haven't been there, you
Yeah.
know?
And
And
we're
let's see
lucky
what
because we get to actually share it through our jobs. I mean,
yeah,
that gives us an opportunity to share that with people, but even just out in the world, I mean, just kindness just goes so far. I mean,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
so that's it
Great
for
stuff,
me.
Brenda. Great stuff.
Thank you. Hello to those people, by the way, if you're listening, because it was pretty cool to share that with you guys.
And then I
Yeah.
guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, going back to what you said about how Disney just has this different form of happiness to it, I'm going to expand on that some more because, to be honest, I, for me, the Disney community, with all the friends that I have, their love for Disney is an extension of my relationship with them. It's not what started the, well, I guess with Jagan it is what started, but it kind of took a back burner with her just because we are such good friends on so many other levels. Sure,
Hmm.
we met at Disney and that was the start of the relationship, but our friendship goes beyond just Disney.
Oh, sure.
And but there are also my friends that I have that are purely about Disney with me, and they are a whole different breed. I usually don't make many friends, but when it comes to Disney, it's just like something changes. there's something about Disney, and this is the best way I can put it. There's something about Disney that makes humans forget the bad in the world. Because if you think about it, we are scared to open up to each other and become friends with each other because we don't know what the other person's like. But when you're at Disney, you kind of get the sense that there is not a single bad person here. Everyone in this park is my friend. And that definitely becomes the case with Billy's Closet of Magic. We met him and we met his human. Oh, I feel bad because I don't remember the human's name. I just remember Billy and
Well, Billy's friend is Chris. That's his
Chris.
human's name.
Got it. Yeah, there are a lot of Chris's in my life, so it's not that big of a surprise that I would forget it because I have at least 3 Chris's at work. I have a Christy, that's a female Chris. That's 5 Chris's that I know in my life. And I'll admit it, when I first met him, I was like, wow, we are talking for a while. Is this okay? And then I was like, wait a minute, it's Disney. Of course it's
It's
okay.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he gave me all this, and he gave me the ears, he gave Daddy the crystal, he gave Mommy the magic band that she can clip onto her purse if she wants, and I'm probably gonna use it because she likes her Daisy one.
Just
He
so
just,
sweet. Just spreading the love, the Disney love to other
exactly,
people.
Right.
exactly. It's wonderful. And if if I had met him outside of Disney that day, you can absolutely be certain that I would have been like, who are you and why are you giving me all this stuff? That's not normal. Stop it.
Yeah, your defenses kind of go down when you're around people who kind of believe like it's like our value system's the same or something.
Absolutely it
And
is
it
because
makes you
that's what
comfortable.
Disney does. It brings out the good in people.
Totally.
And it's only when you have the good in people that you can get to know them and form bonds with them. Like my I know about Jackie and I was going to talk about her, but my first instance of this was probably with Brienne and Tyler. They live up in
Mm-hmm.
Canada, and for the longest time, I met them at Disney. We were riding the Tower of Terror together, and just after that, I formed a pen pal bond with Brienne. And I'm sad that I stopped after a while, but it was just so busy and I couldn't keep up with it.
Well, Sophie,
Yeah.
just so you know, Brienne had a birthday on the 30th of November, and I wished her happy
Really?
birthday because we're
Yay.
Facebook
Oh,
friends.
That's
And I
great.
shared a picture, and she cannot believe how fast you have grown up and how awesome you look. Because I shared a picture of
Yay.
the 3 of us at the Garden Grill with
mm,
Pluto looking over our shoulders.
That's sweet.
I said, pay
oh,
no attention to the weird one taking the selfie. That was me, by the way.
oh my gosh. You just reminded me that she saw me when I was a little kid, and now I feel bad because I was an ugly kid.
Oh
No,
my
you
gosh, that is
weren't.
so
Was
untrue.
too.
That is so
Anyway,
Oh.
untrue.
moving on. So,
And
yeah.
then, of course, there's Jackie, and she was a gem of a human being. We rode Mickey's Runaway Railway with her. She was just a gem to be with. I loved talking with her.
Yeah. And, Jackie is an example. Like Miss Brenda was talking about how, there are people you're in line, you talk to people, you're waiting, you talk to people, and you don't know. And, we may see Jackie again at the parks, we may not.
You
But
never
we
know.
always have that moment where
Yeah,
we were hanging out and we rode a ride together.
absolutely.
So and you know, it's just that's what the community is all about. You run in if we see Jackie again at the parks,
You know
it'll
I'm
be
gonna
like,
hug her.
Yeah, and it'll be like we just saw her yesterday, you know?
Exactly.
So, and just
I
like
found
with
out on my
Brenda,
next trip I'm supposed to meet my friend Cassie, and I'm just beside myself. Can't wait to meet her.
Oh,
yeah,
She's just so great. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like I finally get to meet you after all this time. It's just
and
like you're
and
best friends already because you have that common bond.
right,
exactly.
and just like when you met PJ and her family,
Yep.
it's like you knew her all along, and
Yeah.
you just happened to run into her at the parks.
Now we
So,
planned it, but it was so great. So great.
And then how could I forget about this? Shoot, I don't remember his name, but I know I have his phone number. Um, there was this guy. The last time we flew down to Disney, we were sitting right in front of this family from Baltimore, and the boy was turning, I think he was 17 going on 18, and he was going to Disney World for his birthday. And he
Nice.
was talking about how he was gonna get a red lightsaber, and I just turned around and I was like, "You like Star Wars too?" And he was like, "Yeah." And turns out we just kept on running into each other. We hadn't even gotten to Disney yet. We were still at the Orlando airport, and just
hmm
Daddy had gone to go to the bathroom after we got off, and Mommy and I were just waiting there, and we just saw them walking past to go get their stuff from baggage claim, and we were like, "Oh, hey, we saw you on the plane." And they were like, "Oh, hey, you were the guys in front of us." And then we were like, "You going to Disney too?" And well, obviously they weren't. So we were like, "What resort are you staying at?" Pop Century. Oh my gosh, we're staying at Pop
Oh,
Century.
you're going to be on the
We
same Magical Express.
we were. I
Yep.
sat right next to him. And that's when I
Yep.
got his phone number. And then every day for the rest of that trip, we didn't get to see each other in person again, but we knew the parks that the others were at. We we texted every day to tell each other about our day, and I could probably still find his phone number if I looked hard enough, but I'm not going to
That
do
is
that right
so
now.
neat.
And it's just
But yeah,
great.
It is. It's
it's
such a
just
connection. It's such a bond.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
That,
Disney community.
that's
And
absolutely.
you
what
know,
Walt Disney started.
yep. And you know, I opened up the question, Sophie and Brenda, in Billy's Closet of Magic, and I asked them if they had anything they wanted to add. So I got response from Chris, Sophie, that's Billy's human,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
and from his friend Chrissy, who was there when we met Chris, but she went on to go get some merchandise or something. Um, and so they both responded. I would like to read what they wrote.
Nice.
Um, Chrissy said, "The Disney Community Ohana for myself and my family, long before I became an angel for Billy's Closet of Magic to help others, helped me numerous times when we lived overseas due to the military in Guam and when we could not attend the parks. Friends and just complete strangers would send pictures and gifts to us. If we needed something, they'd find it, so that while we could not attend the parks we loved, we still could share this joy with our children to keep the wonder alive in those little eyes when they receive the magic." She says, "Now that I'm an angel, I get to smile and feel the joy of giving back to others that I was blessed with. We all know each other's favorite princess, hero, or villain characters, items we collect, and we can keep each other up to date on the newest items or surprise each other with them. The Ohana is a bond that reminds us there is still goodness in this world and magic is real.
That
If
is
you ever
awesome.
need a friend or you're having a bad day, our Ohana is always there to lend an ear of support or hand of support. And the best part is when we get together in person to share the magic together. The more, the merrier." That's what Chrissy said.
That is
And then
great.
Chris added, they have always been huge support for me and my family. They make me and Billy feel like we are home in this community and have started in the magic we share just by being amazing and welcoming, and can't think of any better way a family can be than the Disney community that Billy and I are part of with our angels and group. And then he adds, and this will touch all of us.
Yeah.
Now all I need is chocolate cake.
My mom.
Chris, Billy, we're right there with you.
That's right.
Go
That's
to
right.
the Plaza Inn. Go to the Plaza Inn. They'll give you like a 6-layer chocolate cake, and you and my mom can split it.
Yum.
Or Billy and Chris can split it.
It's
Nice.
gonna be 6
Nice.
layers. They can have 2 each.
Yay.
Also, I did find his contact in my text because I have the app on my computer too. His name's Michael, and he's actually from South Carolina.
Well, there
Right.
you go. And y'all are in North Carolina. That's not far.
Yes.
I think,
It could be a thing. I mean, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it could be. I ought
You
to
gotta
text him
do.
again.
Yeah, and then
Just
next time
saying.
we're down there, find out when they're going to be there. You got
Yeah.
a new ride buddy, right?
That's nice.
Yep, and this time
I've
we're
got to
gonna
hear how this
actually
turns
make
out.
plans to meet each other at the park instead of just like
Oh,
texting each other, because I I was scrolling through the text that day that we had 50's prime time. Our
mm-hmm.
reservation was at like noon or something. His was at 3 p.m. We missed him by 3 hours.
Yep.
Yep. Sounds like a
Ah,
connection.
Oh yeah.
it is a connection.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Well,
Yay.
I that is what I wanted to answer. And
Yeah.
I think we did a really good job of answering that question. So,
I think we did too.
Thank you all.
listeners, how has the Disney community become like family to you? So, thank you to Chris and Chrissy for your responses.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
And
you.
I gave them like 10 minutes advance notice. So, thanks for jumping in right like that and doing
Nice.
it. I really appreciate that.
Oh
And
yeah.
I appreciate that, and it means a lot to me. So thanks for doing that. And
Yeah.
also, um, like Brenda said, thank you all.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else we need to add to our feature topic?
I I mean, we could continue talking about this for hours, but I think we've gotten a lot said already.
I think so too. And I'm glad you mentioned Brienne, Sophie.
Yeah.
I was going to if you hadn't.
Yay.
And I'll just tell you right now, Brienne and I are kindred spirits because neither one of us like Tower of Terror.
Well, Sophie and I love it.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps us up for our feature topic today. And it is time to move on to this day in Disney history.
Yay.
Part of this day in Disney history, Walt's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
Sophie
not this
has
day, but
some
yesterday.
additional
Yep.
information.
So I'm gonna say both of these things because although Walt's birthday happened yesterday, it's very important to me, and I would like to talk about it or
Go for
read about it because the entry is very detailed and I love it. So then, on December 5th, 1901, it was a Sunday, and Walter Elias Disney was born to Flora and Elias Disney in their 2-story cottage at 1249 Tripp Avenue in a newly developed section of Chicago, Illinois. In 1909, the address of the house will be changed to 2156 North Tripp Avenue. The fourth Disney son is named to honor the family's pastor and friend Walter Parr, a preacher at St. Paul Congregational Church, located 1 block east and 1 block north of the Disney house. The pastor in turn will later name his son Elias after Walt's father. The Disney family will move to Missouri in April 1906, where Walt and his brothers and sister will grow up on a farm in Marceline, but the family will later return to Chicago in 1917. That is so deep.
Happy birthday, Walt.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Walt.
And I love that they actually talked about where he got his name from. That just adds to it.
I like that too.
And then more importantly, well, not more importantly, but more in tune with the day that it is, on December 6th. This is actually very interesting to me. I didn't know about this. It blew my mind. But 2 years later, on December 6th, Walt had just turned 2 years old when his little sister and his only sister, Ruth, was born. Her birthday was the day after Walt's, and that's why we were talking about 2 birthdays today. She's his only sister, and she was born in Chicago, Illinois, too. And it says here that as a young adult, she moved to Portland, Oregon, and married Theodore Beecher and had a son named Ted.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's not much about her, but I didn't realize that there were 2 other boys besides Walt, Roy, and Ruth.
Yep.
Wow.
Seems like families back then had a lot of kids.
Kind of reminds me of my mom's family. She's the oldest of 5.
Mm-hmm.
All
All
right.
right. Well, great
Well, happy
stuff.
birthday to the Disneys.
Yes.
Yep.
Yay.
Okay. Well, you know, the more
Uh-oh, he's
things
putting the
change,
glasses on.
the more they stay the same. It's time for our Stump the Soap session,
Uh-oh.
which of late has been Sophie
Wah,
is
wah.
like, you know, she like, I say this and she answers with the correct answer
It's
right then.
crazy. It's crazy.
I think
I'm just
this
glad I got a
one,
streak going.
this one I think is going to be harder than you might think. So,
I think he's trying to fool you, Soph.
Yeah.
this character is a peg-legged bat.
Oh, I know this one. I'm just trying to remember his name. Let me think.
He's very forgetful and clumsy.
I do know which movie he's from. I'm just trying to remember his name.
I am no help on this one.
He is the right-hand man. Even though he's a bat, he's a right-hand man.
I know. He's the bat from The Great Mouse Detective. He's Radican's sidekick.
Yeah.
Go through the alphabet in your mind.
It's a great name. Has a great ride. That is totally unrelated to the movie.
Don't listen to him. Just go through the
Actually,
alphabet.
it's not this. The ride isn't the same name, but it's very close. But
I don't know.
I'm impressed you knew The Great Mouse Detective.
Okay, tell her what letter the name starts with.
F.
Finnegan?
No, but close.
Finn.
Fidget.
Fidget.
And I was thinking
Fidget.
Figment. I was
Fidget the
thinking
bat.
No.
I was thinking Figment, and I'm
Fidget
like,
the bat.
no, wait a minute, it's not
Fidget.
that, but Fidget
I'm
the
gonna
bat.
count that for you. You stumped me with the name. I knew the character, just not the name.
I'm impressed though, Sophie,
She
because
knew a lot.
To my knowledge, I have never seen The Great Mouse Detective. I don't know if you have.
I have.
I've never seen it.
I have. I know the whole premise, everything. It's Sherlock Holmes.
And you said Radigan, the professor.
Professor Ratigan, the world's greatest. Don't call him a sewer rat. You'll get eaten by his pet cat Fluffy. He has a
So,
cat, and her name's
Brenda,
Fluffy.
I'm giving this one to
I
Sophie.
would too. I mean,
No,
she
I'm
knows so
giving it
much
to
more.
you. You
I'm
stumped
I'm
me on the
impressed.
name.
I'm
You
impressed
stumped
though.
me.
That's okay.
She never fails to impress me on this. I'm telling you.
Yeah, me neither. I thought
Awesome.
I had her. I thought I had her.
You had me with the name.
But I mean, that's such a minor detail. I thought I had you like full out. You'd be like, "What in the world is he talking about?"
Oh no.
A peg leg bat.
Oh,
Oh, that's
I
great.
love the Great Mouse
That is great.
Detective.
That
Yeah.
that was great.
Okay. Well, it is time to move on to a little bit of Walt. This
Oh, a
is a
little bit of
little.
Walt.
This is a lot of bit of Walt day is what we're
It is
calling
a
it.
lot of it of Walt Day, and I
Yeah.
wanted to have a quote that had something to do with the park because that's where we feel the magic is the
Yeah.
parks and the cruises and all the places that you go where the Disney community shares space with you.
Yeah.
So this quote is Disneyland is like Alice stepping through the looking glass. To step through the portals of Disneyland will be like entering another world.
You know, you are absolutely right. Walt
Yes.
was so right in that.
He was,
Um,
and it still is.
and Walt Disney World is like that also.
Yes.
One of my favorite posts on My Dreams of Disney was when I was writing. This was for the 40th anniversary. Um, my friend, um, my friend Dee Dee did a whole subject with a whole bunch of bloggers about what the park meant to you. And I was given the year 1978, which I was wrong. It was really 1979 was my first trip as well. But in my post, I talked about how, you drive up World Drive because my grandparents were driving us from Tampa. We drove up World Drive, and it's like the Florida is leaving behind when you're driving
Yes.
up because there wasn't anything else. It was a long road with nothing else for
Yes.
like 3 miles. And then you park. And then you get on the monorail, and you've got this futuristic train taking you around, and you see this
Yes.
castle in the distance, and it's like you've gone and you don't even know what Florida is anymore. You're not in Florida anymore.
That's right.
And then you get off and you go underneath the train tracks and you emerge on Main Street.
Yeah.
And it is
And you leave
entirely,
the
it is
world
so
behind.
much. You leave the world behind and you enter this new place. And that is what Disneyland is. And that is what Walt Disney World. You have gone through that looking glass, and you
Yeah.
have come out the other side, and you're in a new world, a new transformation. That to me was the absolute best part of the whole experience was poof. You've been magically transformed into a new world.
That's right. That's
And
that's
that's what it
exactly
was.
right. And to talk back about, when you mentioned Ken, our fellow writer at Chip and Co, who was, Ken was in his 60s when he started writing for Chip and Co, and he was well into his adulthood before he ever went to Disney for the very
Yeah.
first time.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the assignments we had was various questions we had to answer about, ourselves.
Yeah.
And Ken hit the nail on the head. It said your first impression when you entered a Disney park for the first time. And he said, "Oh my God, I finally found where I belong."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I'll never forget, Sophie was we were at a church, Brenda. Sophie was doing a little dance competition, not a competition, but like a dance
Like a show?
recital kind
Uh-huh.
of thing. Learning more different moves about dance at this church.
Okay.
And um and Brenda calls me Sophie. And she's
Yeah.
like, Mike, I'm so worried because I can't catch up with Ken, and we were supposed to talk about something or other Disney.
Yeah, I had
And
tried several days.
and we didn't know what was going on with him. And that's when we found out that he had passed away. You know? So it was a hard day, but and we wrote that post. I still pull that post up every now and again about thanks, Ken, about what all the writers, he meant something to every single one of those writers.
Yep.
It was so cool. Such a great man. And that's what the Disney community is.
Yep.
That's
Disney
exactly what the
friendships.
Disney community is. So anyway, that was a great post. That was a great podcast, guys. Thank you so
Yay.
much for joining me today.
Yay. So happy to honor Walt this way.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Walt, for everything.
And all of our Disney friends,
Yes.
but it all started with Walt.
Yep.
So thank you, Walt. Thank you, all of the Disney community. And we are going to sign off. Thank you, Sophie, Brenda, Grogu, for joining me today.
Yay. Thank you, Mike, for all your inputs.
Thank
Awesome
you
to hear
for
about.
having us.
And next week, we have a celebration coming up.
Oh.
Next week, Brenda, Sophie, Grogu, next week is the 100th episode of On the Road with Mickey.
Yay.
I am so excited. I can't wait. We're going to celebrate. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I mean, probably just talk about some of our favorite moments. Who knows?
Yay.
I've got a video that I'm going to try and sprinkle in, and so you all can hear it. And it's a special song from our buddy Yeehaw Bob.
Oh,
And-
nice.
And I can't wait to share next week with you guys. So we hope you all have a great week. Have a great time. If you're at Disney, take lots of pictures for us.
We're jealous.
If you're not at Disney, just Google pictures all week,
Yeah.
No one needs work. Which is work.
Yeah. I don't need work. I'm busy learning
what?
French.
Here's what you do. Just pull up our YouTube. We started with episode 20. Pull up our YouTube and just play every single episode on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then
That'll
post
get
what
you
your
through the
favorites
week.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sophie, Brenda, Grogu, and I, we will
See you
see you on the road. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.